Welcome everyone, both online and in person, for our 45-minute Denver Yoga Club Vinyasa practice. And as you can see, we're outside today for a change. The weather hasn't cooperated much the last couple of weeks, but today it is absolutely glorious out here. Isn't it beautiful? You happy you're here? All right. So happy to see you guys. Let's take a few moments just to settle in. And as usual, let your eyes close down. And just begin to notice your breath flowing in and flowing out. One of the amazing things about being out in nature instead of inside is that you can begin to notice the sights and sounds and all the other sensations that come with being outside with other people. And you can begin to integrate those into your practice. You can begin to notice, for example, the barking dogs and see how you react to that. And for some, it may be, really disruptive, and it may make it hard to follow your breath flowing in and out. But with practice, what you'll learn is that you can allow those things to direct your attention inside, and you can begin to notice what it feels like, following the breath in and out, focusing on that, even while distractions are going on all around you. And that's part of our practice, is that awareness of what's going on in our mind. And for those of you listening and watching on Zoom, you can pretend that you hear dogs barking if you don't. Now, even in the midst of the sound of dogs barking, notice the other sounds. There are birds tweeting. See if you can focus on that. It's the sound of people walking. And I can even hear the distant traffic on the highway. Just that very low hum. And if you find yourself in your home, inside, just begin to notice whatever's going on within your home. Notice those sensations. Notice what you hear. Now everybody take a deep breath in through your nose and big open mouth exhale. Let it go. Do that a second time. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. Let your arms float high now. Bring the palms together. Interlace the fingers and stretch the palms towards the sky. Straightening the elbows. Draw your navel in now. Make a conscious effort to draw your navel towards your spine. And as you do that, reach up even more through the palms. So you feel a stretch in the back of the shoulders, maybe the armpits. And then release the hands and bring them down behind you. Press the palms into the mat and then pull your elbows a little bit closer together and lift your chin. Press the palms into the mat, lift the chin even higher. Press the chest up towards the sky at the same time. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lean forward. Once you feel the weight come off the hands, let your arms float high. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Bring the arms out to a T, palms facing down, reach the hands apart from one another, gaze straight forward. Now take a twist to the left, and as you do that, draw your navel in towards your spine. Continue to draw the navel in on the inhale, and on the exhale, let your left shoulder come back a little bit more. Do that again, a deep breath in, drawing the navel in towards the spine, and then exhale. And let it go. Reach your arms high. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms towards the sky. Second time we're doing this, draw the navel in a little bit again. And then release the hands on the exhale. Take your twist to the right this time. Bringing the left hand to the right knee. Draw the navel in again as much as you can. Keep sucking the navel in towards the spine. And then exhale and gently twist to the right. Do that again. A deep breath in. Drawing the navel in. and exhale, and twisting. Let it go. Bring it back to center. Bring the hands down in front and then the elbows. Let your chin come down towards your chest. Bring your forehead down towards the mat. Perhaps start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the back. And then inhale and rise up. Let's take opposite elbows now. Press the elbows towards the sky. Now pull the elbows back. Lift your gaze up so you're looking at the sky. And now bring the elbows down towards the knees. If you can, bring the elbows down all the way to the shins if you're able, and then chin to chest, round the spine again deeply. And then release. Let your arms float up. And then exhale the hands down in front. Let's come to table pose. I'll turn around this way. Make sure that your hands are right under your shoulders in table pose. That's a really noisy bird, isn't it? And reach the left hand forward. Press back through the right foot, starting with the heel. Reach forward even more with the fingertips of that left hand. Press back through the right heel even a little bit more. Now bring elbow towards knee and round your spine and then reach back out. Do that a second time. Elbow comes towards knee and reach back out. And once more on this side, elbow towards knee and then stretch it out. Now bring the hand down and then bend the right knee. Lift your gaze so you're looking straight forward and then pick the knee up a little bit higher. Press the hands into the mat. Now bring elbow towards chin, knee towards chin, and then press back through the right heel and then bring the right knee down so it meets the left knee. Press your hips to the right and then off to the left and then to the right and to the left. The eyes can close. A few more times through if you like. Keep it going. And bring the hips back to center, back to table pose. Now reach the right hand forward. Press back through the left heel and lengthen. Thumb pointing up on the right hand. Your gaze is straight down at the mat. Two more breaths here. Stay with it. Good work. Now bring elbow towards knee, round the spine, feeling the strength in the core, and then reach back out. Second time on the side, elbow towards knee. Good job. Rounding the spine, and reach back out. And one more time, elbow comes towards knee, and reach back out. Press through that left heel. Reach the fingertips forward on that right hand. Now bring the right hand down and then bend the left knee and point the toes up towards the sky. Now press the hands into the mat and lift your gaze up. So you're looking up towards the sky. Can you lift the knee a little bit higher, coming into a nice deep back bend there? And now bring the knee slowly towards the chin, rounding the spine. Touch the chin with the knee, then press back through the left heel. And then bring the left knee down so it meets the right knee. Now inhale to cow pose, dropping your belly and lifting your chin. And exhale to cat, pressing the hands into the mat. Now draw your navel up towards the sky so you're really rounding, arching. And do it again. Inhale to cow pose. And exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Couple more times through, inhaling to cow pose. And exhale to cat. And once more, inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Now, center your right hand right below your face. This is thread the needle pose. Reach the left hand up and overhead and then look up towards the thumb on the left hand. Left hand straight over that left shoulder. Press into the right hand a little bit more and lengthen. Stretch. Now thread the needle. Bring the left hand under and then land on the left shoulder and the left side of the face and then walk your right hand forward, straight forward towards the front of the mat. Once you're there, see if you can open that right shoulder up a little bit more and maybe look up just a bit towards the sky. It's another spinal twist. See if you can open the right shoulder even more. Good job. Maybe walk that right hand forward even a bit more. Now let's come out of the pose. Slide the right hand down in front of the face. Press the palm into the mat. Reach the left hand high, coming out. And let's find the other side now. Left hand comes down right below the face. Reach the right hand high. Press down on the left palm. Reach the right hand high. And then bring the right hand under. Land on your right shoulder and the right side of the face. Slide your left hand straight forward, straightening that left elbow. Palm facing down. Now see if you can open the left shoulder a little bit more towards the sky. 2 more breaths. Thread the needle pose. 1 more. Now slide your left hand down right in front of the face. Then press into the left palm. Reach the right hand high as we come out. And then bring the right hand down so it meets the left hand. Walk the hands forward now about 1 hand length, maybe 6-7 inches, something like that. Keep the hips right over the knees, and then glide the hips forward and down. Elbows are straight, chest presses forward, gaze is forward. Now deepen the back bend a little bit. Press your pubic bone down towards the mat. It's probably not going to reach for most people. Now draw the navel up, engaging the core as you come up. Lift the hips and then press the tailbone towards the heels. And then go through it all again. Lift the navel up and glide it forward and down. Elbows stay straight. And then press back. Keep it going. 3 more times through. We're going to do a total of 5. Allow yourself to deepen that back bend, stretching the front side of the body. And 1 more time through. Doing great. And then back to table pose. Walk the hands back so the hands are under the shoulders, and then step your right foot forward so the right foot ends up between the hands. And then press into the right foot and rise. Reach the arms up. This is a low crescent lunge. We do this all the time. Think here about pressing the right knee forward a little bit and pressing the hips down towards the right heel. And for most of us, that's going to create a lot of sensation in the top of the left leg. You feeling that? Yeah? And if you press that right knee forward even a little bit more, it's going to deepen the sensation, the hip flexor muscles. Now bring the hands down on either side of that right foot and then straighten the right leg. Pull the right hip back. And do your best to keep your spine long and about parallel to the mat. Now pull the right hip back a little bit more, the left hip forward just a bit more, and feel the sensation in the back of that right leg, in the hamstring muscles, maybe the calf, and the back of the knee. Now bend the right knee, and then tuck your toes and bring your left knee off the mat so that left leg is straight. And now straighten the right leg and reach your head forward. Spine still long and about parallel to the mat. Your gaze is pretty much straight down. Now pull your right hip back a little and your left hip forward. See if you can deepen the sensation you're feeling in the back of the right leg. And then bend the right knee, bring the left knee to the mat, and rise back up to a low crescent lunge. All on the same side. We haven't switched sides yet. What a glorious day. It's so beautiful. Bring the hands down. Now step the right knee back to meet the left knee. Press the hips to the right, and then to the left, and to the right, and to the left. Bring the hips back to center and step your left foot forward so the left foot ends up now between the hands. Press into that whole left foot, the ball of the foot as well as the heel, and then rise up to a low crescent lunge on our second side. The palms face towards one another in the low crescent lunge. And see if you can press your left knee forward a little bit more. And again, think about pressing the hips towards the heel. And is everybody feeling something in this? Yes? If you're not, try stepping your left foot forward just a little bit. And that probably will get you in position where you're going to feel something. Does that help? Good. Now bring the hands down on either side of the left foot and straighten the left leg. Press the left hip back this time. So you're squaring your hips to the front of the mat, pulling the right hip forward and pulling the left hip back, bringing sensation into that left hip, at least that's the case for me, and the back of the left leg. Now bend the left knee, tuck the toes, and bring the right knee off the mat. press back on that right heel so you begin to feel a stretch in the calf on that right leg. And now straighten the left leg and reach your head forward. Pull the left the left hip back, the right hip forward. And then bend the left knee. Bring the right knee down to the mat. And then bring the weight into the left foot and just step the right foot forward into a standing forward fold. Once you're there, let your head drop down and bring the weight into the front of the feet. Standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Take opposite elbows now and press the elbows down towards the mat. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press your elbows down a little bit more, bringing your weight into the front of the feet a bit more. Do that again, a deep breath in, exhale and press the elbows down so you're lengthening the spine and folding forward at the same time. One more time like that, deep breath in, and exhale, press the elbows down. Now keep opposite elbows, press into the front of the feet, the balls of the feet, and rise. Biceps stay on either side of the ears, so it's a little bit of core strength we're going to use here. Reach up high, and then release the hands. Bring them down by your side. On an inhale, reach up with the left hand, hips now, or feet rather, about hip width apart. Press the hips to the left and reach with the left hand. So you're reaching over to the right, and you start to feel a stretch on the whole left side body. And then to the other side. Bring the left hand down, reach with the right hand. Press the hips to the right a little bit more so you feel a deep stretch on the right side body. On an inhale, rise, reach both hands up and overhead. Then as you exhale, arms out to a T. Now swan dive to a forward fold, and then come to a half lift. Everyone bring your hands to the top of the knees and press the palms, the top of the shins. I keep forgetting the names of body parts. Press your hands into the tops of the shins so you feel your tailbone stretching back. You can draw your navel up towards the spine at the same time. Now take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just a slight bend in the knees and fold forward. Let your head drop down. Now keep your chin on your chest, round your spine as you rise. Let your arms float high. And then exhale and bring the hands to heart center. Let's go through that again. Inhale up, arms to a T, swan dive, forward fold, half lift. Remember to bring the weight into the front of the feet, almost as though you feel like you're going to tip forward. And then exhale, fold forward. Now chin on chest, draw the navel up as you rise, and let your arms float high. Exhale the hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Up, arms to a T, swan dive, forward fold, half lift. Exhale the hands all the way down to the mat this time. Keep the right foot forward and step your left foot back. Now step the right foot back into plank pose. What I'm looking for in plank pose in terms of alignment is shoulders, hips, and heels all in the same line. Pressing back on the heels, maybe start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the calf muscles. Take one more breath. Now bring your knees to the mat. Chest and chin follow as we come into cobra pose. This be a low cobra pose. This be a medium cobra pose. Maybe you want to be up even higher if your back will bend backwards that way. And release all the way down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and then lift your hips, finding downward facing dog. First time in downward dog. Let's stretch it out a little bit. Press your heels down towards the mat. Now take a deep breath in and lift your heels up a couple of inches. And on the exhale, press your heels down towards the mat. Do that again. On an inhale, lift the heels up just a couple of inches above the mat. And on the exhale, press the heels down. And do it one more time. Inhale, lift the heels up a little higher this time, coming up onto the toes. And then exhale and press the heels all the way down. Maybe your heels touch the mat here. Maybe they don't. Glide forward now to plank pose. And then bring your knees to the mat. Chest and chin are going to follow as we come into our second cobra pose. How does that feel? Elbows tucked in close to the body. How's that feeling? Is it okay? Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Press your heart forward so you're creating that nice back bend. One more breath. Beautiful. Release all the way down now. Tuck your toes, stiffen your body as you push to plank, and then lift your hips high into downward facing dog. Stretch it out now in downward dog. See if you can feel that length in the back body, all the way from the shoulders to the hips and from the hips down to the heels. Now carefully begin to walk your hands back towards your feet about 2 steps worth. So you're shortening up your stance in downward dog. Keep your left hand on the mat, lift the right hand up, and get a hold of the left ankle with the right hand. Press the left hand into the mat still. This is a down dog twist. Now let your head drop down so you're looking under your left armpit. One more breath. Release the hand from the ankle and over to the other side. So the left hand comes to the right ankle, let your head drop down. Keep the spine long, keep pressing into the right hand. One more breath. And release the hand from the ankle. Now walk the hands back to downward facing dog, stretch it out. Now on an inhale, reach your right leg up and find three-legged dog. Open the hips to the right, bending the right knee, and then level the hips and bring the right foot down so it meets the left foot. Inhale the left leg up. Now three-legged dog on the second side, opening the hips to the left, pressing the right heel down towards the mat. Now level the hips. Bring the left foot down to the mat. Now slowly walk the feet forward to the hands. We're going to come back to a standing forward fold eventually. And notice I'm keeping both legs straight as I walk forward. And eventually I find my feet between my hands and let my head drop down. Bring the weight forward into the front of the feet just a little bit more. Now arms come out to a T. Keep the weight in the front of the feet so your heels are floating and rise slowly all the way up. Maybe feel that in the hamstrings, in the back of the legs. Arms reach high. And exhale the hands to heart center. How's everybody doing? Good. Hope everybody online is doing well. Take another breath. Feel warmed up? All right, that's it. We're done. No, I'm kidding. We're not really done. Reach the arms out to a T. Swan dive, forward fold. Come to a half left. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Right foot stays forward. Left foot steps back into runner's lunge. Now move your left foot over the left an inch or two, creating a wider stance, and then rise to a high crescent lunge. Arms reach high in the high crescent lunge. That right foot is pointing straight forward. Up on the ball of the left foot if you can. Now arms out to a T, reach the hands apart from one another. Now very slow and fluid movement. Take a twist to the right, palms face to the right, and then back to center. Reach the arms high, and then down on either side of the forward foot. Step that foot back to plank pose. Take a breath. One more. Now flow through a vinyasa. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog, knees off the mat if you can. Elbows are straight, pressing the hands into the mat, pressing the chest forward, gaze is forward. And then when you're ready, rock the hips up, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. And then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. If you want, scoot the right foot over to the right a little bit, giving yourself a little bit wider stance. Press in the left foot and rise. High crescent lunge. Arms out to a T. Reach the hands apart from one another. Now take your twist to the left. Palms face to the left. That left knee still pointing straight forward. Good job. And then back to center. Reach the arms high and hands down on either side of the left foot. We did that all together. Step the left foot back. Upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. 2 breaths. One more, deepen the breath. Now walk the feet forward to the hands, second time doing that. Once you're there, let your arms float high, and then exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Transfer the weight to the right foot and pick your left foot up into tree pose. And I know some of us are working on tree pose, working on the balance. So maybe you can bring your foot up all the way to the thigh. Maybe your left foot's just on the lower part of the leg. Or maybe you bring the heel to the ankle and the big toe on the mat. You've heard me say many times, it doesn't matter what the form is. All we're trying to do is feel balance. What is the experience of balance like? Let's release the left foot from the leg and bring the left knee forward. Reach the arms up and overhead. Now pick the left knee up a little bit more. And then if you can, start to straighten the left leg, pressing the left heel forward. Keep reaching through the fingertips up to the sky. Whoa. You guys are so strong. That looks awesome. And bring the left foot down so it meets the right foot. Hands to heart center. Just take a breath. And one more. Transfer the weight to the left foot this time. Right foot rises into tree pose. Again, don't be attached to doing the pose in any particular form that you think it needs to be done in. Just stand on one leg, whatever that feels like for you. The only thing we do try and do is not press into the knee. There you go. So either above or below. Because otherwise you'll mess up your ACL. We wouldn't want that. Good job, everybody. Beautiful balance. I think it's easier in nature sometimes to balance than it is in the confines of home. Now release the right foot. Bring the right knee forward. Standing big knee, just pick the right knee up. Now reach the arms up and overhead. You can take Aro Mudra here if you want, interlacing the fingers, pointing the index fingers, stretching up and pressing down on the left foot. So feel that length along the whole body. And now just straighten the right leg. Press that right heel forward. See if you can bring the heel to a point where it's level with the hip. And release. Now arms come out to a T. Swan dive, forward fold, come to a half lift. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Press through the left heel. And then step the right foot back so it meets the left foot in plank pose. Take a breath. And let it go. Do that again. A deep breath in. And exhale and let it go. Now side plank. Right hand stays down. Roll over on the pinky toe side of the right foot. Reach the left hand straight up. Again, notice the shoulders, the hips, and the feet all in the same line. If you want, you can reach your left hand forward and maybe pick that left foot up if you want to move into a deeper version of the pose. When you're ready, release the foot. Release the left hand and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Now glide forward to plank. Find that alignment again. Shoulders, hips, and heels all in the same line. Now roll over on the pinky toe side of the left foot. Reach the right hand straight up. And if you want, right hand can reach forward. Right foot can lift up. Your option. Release the foot. Release the hand. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Now bend your knees and even a little more, and then take a hop. Feet end up between the hands. The ground is pretty soft, so if you fall in the hop, it's all okay. Chin on chest now. Round the spine as you rise. Let your arms float high. And then exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. Take a breath. With the hands still at heart center, bring the weight into the left foot and about a 3.5 foot step back with the right foot. Toes on the right foot pointing about 35-40 degrees to the right. And then bend the left knee and reach the arms high. Warrior one. You know, square the hips to the front of the mat. We do that every single time. There you go. Now press your left knee forward a little bit more. Now interlace the fingers behind the back. And we're going to find a chest and shoulder stretch here. Straighten the elbows to the extent you can. Press the palms together. Gaze is still straight forward. Now hinge at that left hip. Keep pressing into the right foot. And bring your left shoulder down to the left knee. Once it lands, you can let your head drop down and maybe reach the knuckles up and overhead. Now press in the left foot. The left knee stays bent as you rise. Once you're up, release the hands. Now straighten the left leg, hinge at the hip, and fold halfway down, and then press in the left foot and rise all the way back up. Bend the left knee, and we've come back to Warrior One. Now bring your hands to heart center. Bring the weight into the left foot and step the right foot forward really gracefully. Good job. Take a breath. Whew. Let's go to the other side now. This time step the right foot back, leaving the left foot forward, assuming that's the other side. It's not? All right, the other side. Whichever side you didn't do last time. So right foot is forward, left foot's back. Yeah, I guess that's right. Reach your arms up and overhead. That right knee bends. Good job on squaring the hips. Excellent. Bend the right knee a little more. Awesome. Shoulders and hips square to the front of the mat. Now bring the hands behind. Find your hands interlaced behind your back. Now press the knuckles down towards the left heel and feel a stretch at the top of the chest. At least most of us will. Also, there's a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Now, hinge at that right hip. Bring the right shoulder down towards the right knee. Let it land if you can. Let your head drop down now. Release the neck muscles. Let your head go. Now press into the right foot and slowly rise. Nice and slow. Good job. Once you're up, reach your arms high. Now straighten the right leg. Press into the left foot and keep your biceps on either side of your ears. Hinge at the hips. Keep your spine long. Fingertips reach forward. Press the right hip back a little bit to help you lengthen. Halfway down, now press into the right foot and rise. You're going to feel that in the core. And now bend the right knee. Bring the hands to heart center. Step your left foot forward. Bring the weight into the right foot. You guys are much more graceful at that than I am. Now bring the feet so they're about hip width apart. Actually a little wider than that. Bring the toes so that they overhang the edges of the mat. Now bend the knees and let's come all the way down to a yoga squat with the elbows to the inside of the knees. Let your tailbone get a little heavier. And then bring your hands behind you and let's come to a seat. Once you're seated, bring the hands behind the knees and then pick the shins up, the heels up, so the shins are parallel to your mat. This is called a supported half boat pose. Feel okay? Not too taxing. Well, let's let go of the knees then and reach the hands forward, keeping the feet at the same level as the back of the knees. And now lengthen your spine a little bit. So pull your shoulders back. Let your chest rise up just a bit. So you're kind of blossoming into the pose. And you're going to start to feel it a bit in the quadricep muscles probably, and maybe the hip. Now take a deep breath. And on the exhale, just straighten the legs. Breathe in deeply. And exhale, let the breath go. Stay in the pose. Now cross the left ankle over the right ankle. Press through the right heel. And then cross the other way and press through the left heel. Uncross, hands behind knees, bend the knees, and we've come back to our supported boat pose. Great job, everybody. Bring the soles of the feet together now. Let's come to cobbler pose. Let your spine lengthen. Remember to pull up on the ankles will help you lengthen the spine. And now release from cobbler pose, straightening the right leg. Press the right heel straight forward, and then bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And if you can, that left knee is down on the mat, the outside of the knee. Press through the right heel and then reach the arms up. Now everybody square your shoulders to that extended right leg. So not off like this or like that. Just nice and square to the extended leg. See if you can keep your spine long as you hinge at the hips and fold forward. Maybe some of you can get a hold of your foot with both hands And then let your forehead come down towards the shin or the knee. Now breathe. Release whatever you have a hold of. Reach the fingertips forward. Press into the back of the heel and rise slowly. So you'll feel that in the abdominal muscles. And then come all the way up. Now arms out to a T. Take a twist to the left and plant the left hand right behind you. And then press into the left knee and the right foot and lift your hips. And then reach with the right hand. You can let your head drop down here. And now open the right side of your heart space up towards the sky, maybe looking up at the same time. Now with control, slowly release. Bringing the left hip to the mat first, and then square your shoulders, the extended right leg, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale and rise back up. Again, the core engages. And let the hands come down and literally touch the earth, those of you who are here. I don't get to say that all the time. Let's go over to the other side. Sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Remember to press the left heel away so you're lengthening that left leg. Now square the shoulders and reach the arms high. Hinge at the hips and fold forward over the extended left leg. Couple of breaths. Letting your forehead come down towards the shin or the knee. Now let go of whatever you have a hold of. Reach the fingertips forward. Press into the back of the left heel as you come up. You feel that in the abs? And arms out to a T. Take your twist now to the other side. Plant the right hand behind you. Press into the right hand as you lift your hips. And then reach with the left hand. You can let your head drop down here so the neck muscles disengage completely. One more breath. And then slowly again with control, bring it all down. And then square your shoulders to the extended left leg, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Now release the hands, reach the fingertips forward, press into the back of the left heel, and come up. And release the hands and bring them down. Bring both legs out. Let's slap the back of the knees into the mat a little bit. Just to create a little bit of extra blood flow. And then bend the knees. You may want to reposition yourself on the mat so that the back of the head lands at the back of the mat when you lay down. Once you're there, walk your feet back towards your glutes. But the feet are parallel to one another and about hip width apart. Now bridge pose. Lift your hips. Draw your shoulder blades together. And press the hips up high if you can. When you get the hips up high enough, you're going to feel a stretch in the quadricep muscles all the way from about the waist down towards the knees on both legs. And if you like, lift your hips a little bit higher. You do that by pressing the hands into the mat even more. Or the feet into the mat even more. One more breath. Good job in bridge pose. Gently release from bridge pose, bringing the tailbone to the mat. Then once you're there, hug your knees in towards your chest. Now the arms come out to a T, palms facing down. Bring your knees so that the knees are right over the hips. And then let the knees float over to the left and land. And move your gaze so you're looking off to the right. A few more breaths. Two more. One more breath. Let your knees float back to center now and over to the right side. Notice your gaze will shift to the left. Now 3 breaths. Begin to notice your breath flowing in and flowing out. One more breath. And let the knees come back to center now. Bring the hands down by your side. And now happy baby pose. Actually, let's do a half happy baby pose. So bring both hands to the sole of the right foot. Straighten the left leg and press the left heel forward. The left heel is on the mat if you can. Now in half happy baby pose, hug that right knee down towards the right armpit. Some of you may be able to bring the knee into the armpit. Just hug it down. Now at the same time, press the left heel forward. And now happy baby pose, bend the left knee and bring the hands to the pinky toe side of both feet. Just one breath here. And then transfer both hands to the left foot, straighten the right leg, and bring the right heel down to the mat. The sole of the left foot is pointing towards the sky, and the left knee is hugging down, maybe fitting into the left armpit, depending on your flexibility in the hip. And one more breath here. And now back to happy baby pose. Once you're back to the full happy baby pose, relax the back of the shoulders and make a little bit of effort to press the lower part of the back down towards the mat. Now release the hands from the feet, reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose, hands down by your side, palms facing down, and the heels are pretty much right over the hips in this pose. You can stay here if you want, or you can bring your feet up and overhead, touching down on the mat or the floor or the ground behind you into plow pose. Next is shoulder stand. Bring the hands to the low back, supporting the low back. Lift your feet up so the feet are over the hips, and maybe the hips are over the shoulders. That would be a full shoulder stand. If you got here from plow, return to plow now. And then let's all meet in legs up the wall pose. Let your tailbone come down to the mat. Now point the toes so the toes point up towards the sky. Hands down by your side with the palms pressing down. And press the palms into the mat a little bit more. And now very slowly, let your heels float all the way down to the mat, feeling the deep engagement in the leg muscles and the abdominal muscles as the legs come all the way down. Eventually, the heels will land and touch the mat. Now take a deep breath in and open your mouth and let the breath go. Do that again, a big deep breath in. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Now bend your knees and gently bring yourself to a seat. And any seated posture is fine. Just take a moment just to notice again everything that's going on. Whatever is happening, whatever is arising within your sensations. What are the sounds? Notice the subtle ones as well as the obvious ones. Feel the slight breeze on your bare skin. Notice any smells. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center, pressing the palms lightly together. Join me in offering loving kindness. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Namaste.